Hello, my name is Isabel, and today we're going to be talking about career development. Career development is so broad, and there's so many aspects that go into it that we really just need to go through it step by step by step by step. And for today, I'm just going to be talking about trusting the process and believing in yourself and having hope that in future, it's all going to be better. So one of the things that social media has done is just has made it seem that everything just happens overnight. But the reality is there's so much more that really goes into building yourself, into building your brand, into knowing who you are and just being the best in your career. And how do you even start from the beginning? So you'll find yourself probably you're just in the first phase of your growth. You're just starting out in school. You're just starting out. Let's say you've just finished school. You're searching for a job, and you're wondering, how do I get there? How do I become the best of the best? How do I make it such that people want to find me? But before people find you, you have to find yourself. You also have to make sure that you are offering the best such that your work sells itself. And sometimes it seems like the more people who are out there are not really working as hard as you think they should. A mentality that people have is you need to know someone, you need to be connected, you need to have a lot of money to be able to start off. But that's not always the case. That's not the reality for many people. People have started out from the bottom and they've gone up the ladder with their integrity, gone up the ladder, making sure that they are learning throughout each stage. And by the time they're going to the next step, they've understood the core of their work. A good example I always like sharing, the mustard seed. Very, very tiny seed. And you plant it, you water it well, it gets its nutrients, it grows to be a magnificent tree that houses so many animals, is used by so many people. It provides very beautiful shade. But it always starts from the tiny seed. There's no way it's just going to be uprooted from wherever it is and appear magically. That does not happen. That's not the law of nature. Even people who are the strongest, they've gone through so many challenges. They're not just magically strong. We cannot say the strongest man, when they go for their competitions, they dedicate hours and hours and hours of their life towards being the strongest. So we may see the 5 minutes, the 10 minutes, the 30 minutes of their lives and think that they didn't do much. They had years of building up. They were eating the right diet. They were going to the gym, they were working hard, they were having mentors, they had coaches, they had people around them that were helping them achieve their goal. But one thing that was very important is that they knew what they wanted to be. Let's take an example of athletes. Athletes, we may see them in action for a very short time. Sometimes, depending on the sport, it may be 5 minutes, it may be 2 minutes, it may even be just 90 minutes. Or if you're a rugby player, it's 80 minutes. But anyway, when we see them, we're seeing them for very short time. But the amount of work that has gone into them preparing themselves to making sure that they are fit for the event, to make sure that they're fit to play on the field, they've just spent so much time preparing. They have gone to the gym, they have eaten well, they have their coaches, they have their mentors, and all of this is a very important part of their growth. This can also be applied to very many of the people we admire. I'll give my example. My favorite person is called Vusi Tembukwaro. We see him right now as somebody admirable who has said so much that we now get to see, but he's done his research. He has made sure that he is the best speaker on the continent. He's among the top 10 in the world. But that did not start yesterday. It's something he's worked on for more than 17 years. And these are people who we now look up to and wish to be like them. But the truth is they've worked hard. They have made sure they are burning the midnight oil. And Sometimes we're not ready to do that as youth. And how can we change that? How can we make sure that we're trusting ourselves? How can we make sure that we are doing what needs to be done and not just what we want to do? If I want to be, say, an engineer, am I ready to commit my 5 years in school, my internship time, the time where I'm starting out as a junior, where I'm supposed to learn and then grow on and even apply to be accepted by the board? Am I ready to go through those processes to be then certified as an engineer and then now start practicing? If I want to be a teacher, am I ready to go to school to learn how to teach, to know the different ways of doing it? Because you cannot magically just be a teacher. You have to do something. You have to work hard. You have to know the processes that need to be done for you to be who you are. Another example is, do you know the professional bodies that are required for you to be in your space? You may wake up and say, you know what, I'm going to start dealing with medicine, like pharmaceuticals. Are you approved? Do you know what other doctors did to get to where they are? Do you know what other pharmacists did? It's not just magic. You have to know what goes on behind the scenes, because such things, when you do not understand the process that it takes to get to somewhere, is when you become very frustrated, just because you're not following the processes, because you do not understand what needs to be done, because you do not know what amount of hard work goes into it. Therefore, when you feel like you've just been asked to spend an extra hour in the office, you feel like you're being burdened. But that extra hour, you're learning something small. Even in the office, you're only doing tasks assigned to you, you're not going beyond. How will you learn if you do not go beyond what you've been told? When you see others grow, you may be employed in an office with someone else at the same time, but you're seeing them grow faster than you. What's the difference? Ask yourself. You know, you'll be quick to think that it's all favorism, but it's not. It really isn't. You look, you present the same work. Yours doesn't even have anything extra, anything that is unique to you. You're very generic. You do not have an identity. Yet this person has an identity, is following the systems that, let's say, are in that office, is following the values of that office, following their values as a person, and they're able to grow. Identify what the values are for other people, and identify your own, and try find a place where they align. Because when they align, it makes it easier to even venture out, to start finding things to add on to yourself, to add new skills, to add new things. But this all starts with understanding. It's a journey, it's a process, and you need to do it one day at a time, one step at a time, and basically trust the process. One day you'll be small, and as you continue, you'll become better, you'll become bigger, and by the time you are, let's say, in your 30s, in your 40s, you are somebody people want to be associated with. Right now, no one may know you, but later on, people will want to be associated with your name. But for you to do that, create a strong base, create a strong foundation, make yourself the one that people want to be. And that starts with knowing what you want to be. So if you're thinking of growing yourself in your career, growing in education, just remember it starts from within, and you have to trust the process. So until next time, kwaheri.